Why is it so cold today? Oli Olis, happy God Friday, yay, yay, yay. Why? Why is it so freaking cold today? Like the first day of winter. The rain, I don't mind it at all. Not at all, we need it. But why couldn't it be warm and humid and raining? Why does it have to be freezing cold first day of October cold? Like, why? And your girl has a whole like a romper on, summer romper, okay? Like full-blown summer romper with a hole in the stomach and wide open in the back. Listen, I did not check the weather. I should have, given the fact that the weather has been very unpredictable, because we all know that it is being controlled and manipulated. However, I thought that they were at least going to give us a little bit of summer. I guess I thought wrong, you know? Like, these are evil entities. Why would I ever think they would want us to be happy? I don't want humanity to be happy. However, before I left, something said to me, take a sweater. And I remember thinking, why would I take a sweater in the middle of the summer? And then something said to me again, take the sweater. And your girl took her sweater, because I am learning to listen to that voice of reason in my head, which we all have. It's our sixth sense, right? People think we got 12 strands of DNA, and scientists think like the last 5-6 strands are junk. God doesn't make, the creator and the source of all does not make mistakes. So if it was junk DNA, it would be considered a mistake. Something that the creator doesn't do. It's just that they don't know how to explain those strands of DNAs, because it's something that they never seen. And that's where our power lies, right? I even brought the glasses out. Let's get past that. So, that sixth sense is that little voice that will always tell us what we should be doing and not doing. It's guiding us. It's our higher self. The higher self that's connected directly to source itself and connected to us, to all of us, to all the lives that we live. And I'm not going to get into that. You know, that's part of stuff that I have learned in my spiritual journey that eventually I will be sharing in my YouTube channel. But let's get past that. So that's the little voice that when your friends call you and say, let's go out, that something tells you, don't go out, don't go out, don't go out, don't go out. But your friends keep souping you up and you feel like you have to do it. And then you go out and something bad happens and then you regret and you're like, oh my God, something was telling me not to go out. It's that voice that when you're driving, it tells you pull over and put your seatbelt on. And you can hear it like I was, ding, ding, ding. But you're too busy on the phone that you're not paying attention. And then either two things happen, an accident or the police. And so many more examples that I can give you, but you all know what I'm talking about. That sound reason, that reasonable voice of ours is so soft-spoken. And the way that it comes into our consciousness is not immediately clear, right? Because it's coming from the subconscious into our consciousness. So it's like a little wind of energy from the subconscious into our consciousness. So when it says, take the swear. You cut it off. You cut it off because you start thinking of something else. You get a phone call, or you got on the phone, now you're seeing something online. So it doesn't come in clear and quickly enough. Like, hey, take the sweater. Hey, put the seatbelt on, you know, where you're like, oh crap, let me put the seatbelt on. Oh, let me grab my sweater. It comes in very dense. Sorry about that. It comes in very slowly and dense, and it's so easy for us to miss the voice or start getting the thoughts of the subconscious coming in, but we cut it off. So my point being with all of this is that I am learning to live in the present. And when you learn to live in the present, you notice many things. You see many things, you feel many things, and you hear many things. So because of me trying to reprogram my brain to have positive thoughts throughout the day, to think positive when my first thought comes in, when something is happening, instead of being the first negative thought, I want it to be a positive thought. So all these things that I am doing has taught me to slow down and listen to the voice that's coming through my subconscious into my consciousness, to give it the time to come in. And I can tell you personally that it is one of the greatest things that I can be doing for myself, because the amount of blessings, the amount of doors that have opened up, and the amount of things that I have been able to save myself from, and the things that I have witnessed are amazing. So my advice to you all, first of all, start living in the present. Start living in the now, because all your hard work and everything that you're working and striving for, if you're not enjoying it, if you're not happy about it, if you're not grateful about it, then it's all for nothing. Oh, I'm doing all this now because in 5 years I'm going to be able to enjoy it. That's a lie. Guys, that is a big fat lie. I've been working since the age of 12, and I can tell you it's a fucking lie. Because the more money you make, the more bills you have, the more problems you have, and then the harder you have to continue to work to continue to hit that goal that you want to hit. And then when you hit that goal, 1,000,001 problems come and follow. This life here on earth now is an experience and not a positive experience. It is an experience that isn't positive or negative. That's in the spiritual world. But for us, for the human race, we have the positive and negative emotions. That's part of the human experience. So for us, it is not really the great. I know that there are some of us that are leading lives of our dreams. But was it always like that? No. And then those individuals that didn't grow up in toxic homes and with issues and problems that are living their best life now, worked very hard to get there and have their own trials and tribulations. Some of us came here to experience hardship at its worst, and some of us came here to experience a minimum of it because their souls didn't feel ready to go through the whole shebang at once. So what I want to say with this is, wait, what time is it? Oh, I got time to go to Dunkin' Donuts and get a coffee, and a iced coffee, and that's what I'm going to do. So what I'm trying to say with this is that enjoy your life now and start enjoying your things now. Continue to work hard and thrive and desire and want more, of course. But if you cannot enjoy them as you're going through the process, then you're not living in the present, and it's the worst way to live, because you are not promised tomorrow. Here is the ding, 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 because you know your girl rambles, right? You know that. But here's the bigger, broader picture of it, and my point. We are not promised tomorrow. So if, God forbid, you come out of your house and you find yourself with the unexpected, where does all of that hard work goes to? Where does the money that you have in your bank account goes to? Where does all the hard work, the sweat, the blood, the tears, the sleepless nights, the days you were sick and still rolled out of bed, you know, all the hardship, where does it go? Nowhere. It fades into the universe. And the next person, family member, partner will take what you have and do whatever the hell they want with it. And you didn't get to live. You didn't get to enjoy it. You didn't get to enjoy the fruits of your hard labor. So continue to strive and work hard and go for your goals, but start living in the present and enjoying everything now. I ran to Dunkin' Donuts to get an iced latte. If you want to do anything in your life that your heart is set on, do it. It's okay if it doesn't work out. Don't be afraid of it not working out. It is not a failure. Failure is wanting to do things in your life, wanting to enjoy things in your life, and pulling it off for two reasons. Either because you are afraid and feel that you're not ready, because you are embarrassed. If you wanted children and you had to go through an infertilization process, and you went through heartache and hardships, and you stressed so much to get pregnant, and then through your pregnancy you was trying to enjoy it as much as you can, but it wasn't fully enjoyed because you was worried about losing your baby or something happening with your baby, and you're praying through your whole pregnancy. I mean, you're even building a relationship with God that you forgot you even had because of the stress. Then I tell you, enjoy your children. If you had to kiss a few clowns, a few frogs to find your Prince Charming and you found him, do not take him for granted, because now you got the ring on the finger and the certificate is signed that says married. Enjoy your partner. Same thing if you have a business, if you have a house, if you have a car, if you have a great career, if you have a job that you love, if you have great friends, if you have great parents, if you have great siblings or family members, whatever is good in your life that you love and desired, and all that you worked hard for also, live it, love it, laugh, and pray about it, and give gratitude to God for it. That is why my Instagram and my TikTok is called Love, Laugh, Live, and Pray. Because those are the 4 rules that I am starting to live my life by. And of course, my YouTube is called Daily Dose of Rambles and Chronicles, because I go and I ramble and I speak about things of the sorts like these chronicles, and then I go and I post them. So the titles are very meaningful to me for a purpose. However, my point is, live in the present. And when you start living in the present, you want to add onto it, slowing down enough to listen to that sixth sense that will always guide you for your greater good. As I was saying, because you're embarrassed of what others are going to say. Or the third, actually 3 reasons. Let me just continue to work hard and do what I have to do, and I will enjoy it later. Because later might not come. So don't leave for later what you can do now. Don't leave for later what you can enjoy now, because how are you so sure that later is going to come? Allow yourself to get caught up into tomorrow and the future, where you do not live today and enjoy the present. Don't do it. I'm telling you from experience that we cannot control what is destined to happen. And even what's destined to happen sometimes loses its path and another destiny becomes ours, because we can't control those that are out there. So with everything that's happening in Gaza, with everything that happened in California, North Carolina, and Florida, and Puerto Rico, and in so many parts of the world where people lost all their material belongings that they worked so hard for, and many of them cannot recover because not everybody insured their lives and their belongings, etc. And a lot of these places, the insurances suck because they're areas that flood, that rain, that they're hurricanes. So insurance companies have committed schemes and fraud against the human race at its worst, you know? We'll talk about that some other time so I don't continue to ramble. But my point being, they lost everything material that they worked so hard for, and even worse, their loved ones, their families, that they can never recover, ever. You know how many mothers had their rainbow babies and lost them? Do you know how many partners found their soulmates after kissing so many frogs and dating so many clowns and lost them? You know how many finally healed and was able to forgive and let go of what they hold against their parents and other family members and even friends, and started building a new healthy relationship with boundaries and lost them? Do you know how many worked so hard to buy that little house and build their white little picket fence with their rainbow baby, their Prince Charming, and their white little dog, and lost it? So all I can pray and hope for is that they were not living for tomorrow, and that they were living for now and today, and that they were able to truly enjoy what they... As I was saying, if I can't trust you in that little funky apartment that you're in, how can I trust you with that beautiful big house with the white picket fence that you have there waiting for you? If I can't trust you with the little bird you have in a cage as a pet, how am I going to trust you with the little white dog and the picket fence? If I can't trust you to make the right decisions with the clowns and the frogs that come into your life, where are you leaving space for the Prince Charming that I have for you? You get my point? If you're not even grateful for the job that you have, when there's so many out there jobless, homeless, familyless, then how can I trust you with a bigger family? How can I trust you with your own business or a high career? How can I trust you with the house with the white picket fence. So, start showing God, the universe, the creator, your higher self, whatever it is that you believe in, honey. Start showing them that you're living in the present with gratitude. You're walking with compassion. You're in the present to enjoy your life, but also to take the opportunity to help the next fellow human being if you can. Start being grateful for all the little things you have now, and so that you can make room for all the bigger blessings that are in store for you. Start showing that you can be trusted with what you have now, and that you are definitely ready and can be trusted for all the bigger ones that are to come. And more importantly, do it for yourself. Do it for yourself so that you never live and regret. Because living and regret is failure. I have these conversations with my kids all the time. I have these conversations mostly with my daughter, because you speak to your children, the male and the female, differently. And women are very emotional creatures, so you always have to be dinging these things into them. And I used to tell my kids when they were little, I don't care what you want to do. If you want to do basketball, and then you want to do hockey, and then you want to do soccer, and then you want to do kickboxing, and then you want to do karate, and then you want to do jiu-jitsu, then you want to sing, then you want to model, and so that is what I pray for, and what I hope for is that they were able to fully and completely enjoy everything that they were blessed with. Because how sad, how heartbroken, how destructive can you feel that you wanted and you fought and you worked and you slaved for these things? You didn't enjoy it because you was leaving it to enjoy it tomorrow. And you never got a chance. You never got a chance to tell your husband or your wife how God blessed you with them coming into your life, how much you love them, what they meant to you. You didn't get to look at your baby in the eyes when they were old enough and say, I'm so proud that you are here and so grateful. Sit down and let me tell you everything mommy and daddy had to go through to get you, baby, because you are a rainbow baby. You didn't get to tell your parents, I'm sorry, mom and dad, for what I put you through. I love you. Thank you for being the best parent. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for never leaving my side. You never got to walk into that company of yours and look around and breathe and say, we made it. You didn't get in to come into your home and fill up your tub with bubbles and lay there with a glass of wine and say, thank you, God, for this beautiful home. This is a blessing. This is where I'm going to start my family. This is where generations are going to be born. How sad. So, no matter what you're going through in life, how hard and difficult, frustrating and aggravating, because I go through it, learn to slow down. Listen to that voice of reason. Learn to slow down and live in the present and enjoy what you have, even if what you have isn't what you are striving for. But you have what you have, and that is a blessing, something to be grateful for. So that way you can make room for the bigger and better blessings. And God said, if he cannot trust you with a little bit of money, how can he trust you with a lot of money? If he cannot trust you with one child or no children, how can he trust you with one or two or three? If he can't trust you with that little thing, I would tell them, I don't care, do it. I don't care if you go once and don't like it again. Like, if you go one and you say, this is not for me, I don't want to come back, I'm not going to say, oh, but you didn't give it a try. You got to go another day. No, you got to try 2 or 3 times. Or, no, that means you want a failure. A failure, you have to stick with it. No, ma'am, not this mama. All I wanted my kids were to try as much as they wanted to at least once. Until they found their niche. Because I didn't want them to live in regret. Because regret is failure. Not being successful at something does not consider you to be a failure. Not at all. Not in my eyes. To me, when you're not successful in something, it's because it's not meant for you. And if it is something that is in your life path, it might not be the moment. You're not mature or prepared for it. So you gotta let it go. And down the line, when you are prepared, mature for it, it's gonna come back. And you're gonna be successful at it. Failure is not because something didn't work out. Failure is when you live in regret because you didn't try to at least do it once and see if it's something that is for you or not. Why? Because then you live like me, your parents, and many others. Why didn't I do this when I wanted to do this? Why didn't I do that when something was telling me to do this and do that? I have been, for the last 5 years, struggling on whether I should open my YouTube channel or not. And I mean struggling. Because the thought was planted like a seed and growing. Like when I tell you that the roots were growing out of me to the point where I couldn't avoid it anymore, and I ended up opening the YouTube channel. And then it took me years to put one small video in there and years to continue. And I'm thinking to myself now, before there were millions of influencers everywhere, if I would have watered and gave sun to that seed that was planted. Why? And when you live in regret, you are miserable, frustrated, unhappy, and you've literally given up on life. And you're just waking up and being a productive, robotic zombie. But there's no happiness inside of you because you never did anything you wanted to do. And now you're living in regret. And that, my friends, is failure. Do not allow anyone to tell you that because you had to shut that business down, or you had to sell that house, or you had to get rid of that car, or that relationship didn't work out right now, that you failed at it. Because you didn't do this, and you should have done that, and you should have listened to me. You don't need to listen to nobody. But that inner voice, which is your higher self, guiding you, your angels, the universe, source, God himself. And when you're confused about something in your past, in your life, pray about it, meditate about it, and trust me, you will get the answer. But you don't have to listen to no one, unless it's someone that you really feel that they can help you, and you go to them for guidance. That's different. But don't let nobody tell you that you failed because you didn't do this, that, and the third. You didn't fail. You succeeded because you tried it and it's not for you. At least not at that moment. And that's okay because you're never going to be, what if, why didn't I? You did. And it didn't work out because it wasn't for you. And you move on to the next. And if you ever feel like revisiting one of those things that you tried and wasn't for you, then try it again. Don't matter if it's 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5, 10 years down the road. If the thought pops back in, it might be because that's your time. And that is my advice to you, my Ram fam. I love yous all. Have a wonderful weekend. I am praying for every single one of yous, the entire world and universe, for those that are human and the non-human, existence in itself. Live in the present, live in the moment, be kind, spread love, be compassionate, be grateful. Don't forget that I love you, that God loves you, that you're never alone. You got an angel with you for the rest of your life. If I would have watered it and gave it sun over 5 years ago when the seed was planted in my head, I could only imagine how successful I would have been at it. And I live in regret. So now, I am forcing myself to stay consistent on my channel, even if it's small videos. Because I do have a lot of great things planned. I just have a lot of difficulties and things that have been happening in my life that are in... Wait until I talk about it. But the best part of it all, that every hardship, every tear, every struggle, today, it is so worth it. Because the things that are happening now are amazing. And I have been set free. And I can't wait to share the story with you guys and so many other stories. I have 102 journals from the age of 14. My whole life is written in these journals. And we're going to cry, we're going to laugh. There's going to be a whole lot going on. And all I care about is entertaining you, but also being a guide of what not to do. And learning from my mistakes. And then I have other great things planned that has nothing to do with story time. And I can't wait. So I'm in the process of moving, of settling down, and then big things are coming. But remember, failure is not succeeding in something that you tried. Failure is not trying and living in regret. Waking up, watching everybody else around you living their best life, and you are where you were still 10, 15 years ago. Because you never gave yourself the opportunity to live in the present, to live your best life, to try all those crazy ideas that popped in your head, to water and give sun to those seeds that were planted in your head. And then you're like, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? And that angel's always with you. Your higher self is always listening. And most importantly, the Creator itself, it's everywhere. And if you ever need anyone to chat with, go on my Instagram, DM me. I might not respond right away because your girl got a whole crazy life with 1,000,001 shit going on. But I will respond. So, let me go ahead and enjoy my iced latte, my beautiful Ram fam. And I'll see yous again.